Hey everyone, it's Kathy. Welcome back into my craft room and here on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I'm so glad you're here. Let me look and see who we have in the house today. Marlene is here. Hey Marlene. And Diane. So good to see y'all. I hope that we'll get a few more that will be popping in pretty soon. If you noticed on the picture that went up on the front of this video, we are going to try what we didn't do last week, and that's working with this suite right here, Earthen Textures. And if you notice, I'll show you when I point the camera down. Evidently I can't type because when I made my label to go on my dies, I had Textures, T-U-X instead of T-E-X. So anyway, y'all know how I roll. Sometimes I don't roll very well. But this was the card that y'all were seeing on the front. And this was one of my, when I was just playing around with the stamp set, I tried this one. And I got a couple more, but we're going to do something totally different today. And once you see how this set works, if you have it, you'll be able to replicate these. And these other cards that I made will be up on the blog post. And I have probably two different ones. Here was another one I did. I was just playing around. Hey Jennifer, welcome in. So, let's see, has my Jennifer gotten here yet? Hey Phyllis. I'm still looking for Jennifer. I thought she was out there somewhere. I hope so too, Marlene, because last week was a total disaster. Jennifer said she is there. There she popped up. Okay, I knew she was in my ear, but I wasn't sure where she was and why I wasn't seeing her on the actual broadcast. So anyway, let me flip over to my desktop view, and here is our catalog, and I'm going to show you on page 70 and 71 is the Earthen. Let me zoom y'all out just a hair. Oops, wrong way. I always go the wrong way. You would think as long as I've been using this camera, I would know which way to go by now, but evidently I don't. And I need to grab a sip of drink because whatever reason I'm sounding a little croaky this morning. I'm contributing to the rain. We have had so much rain. I feel like my voice is molded along with everything else. It has been so rainy and so yucky. But nevertheless, we are here. And this is the suite. If you get the suite, you're going to get all of this. You're going to get the stamp, the dies, the beautiful paper. And I'll be honest with you, this is not in my color palette. Y'all know that I love pastels and deep rich blues and reds and purples and colors like that, but there was something about this paper and this whole collection that really spoke to me. So this was one of my first selections when I was able to order from the catalog, and I love it. But I will admit that I was having some difficulty working with it. Have y'all ever had a set like that? You just, hey April, good that you're here. Thanks for joining us today. I think I've introduced April to y'all before. She is Jennifer's best good friend, and she has always been just an extension of my family, and that's why she calls me Mama, because she's like another daughter to me. But anyway, I was actually just drawn to these colors for whatever reason. The paper is stunning. The stamps and the dies are spectacular. I can't say enough about it. And that braided ribbon. Let me show you, because you know pictures on the catalog just never does it justice. But look at this beautiful woven trim. That is spectacular, and we're actually going to be using a piece of this today. And I'm going to get my catalog out of my way so we got some space here to work. But anyway, there's my TUX dies, Earthen Textures, not Textures. I got to go back and fix that. I don't know why. Are y'all like that? Little things like that drive you crazy? I don't know. It does me. So we're going to fix that. But anyway, we're going to use several of the dies and several of the stamps today. And I'm going to show you what I have in mind. I've already got the stamps loaded up on blocks. We're going to use this smaller vase and we're going to use that. We're also going to use some die cuts, and here's the thank you. I'm going to make this a thank you card. We can always use thank you cards, you know that, wherever we go. I have another card laid out that I want to do. This is all laid out, and we are going to glue that one together, but I want to do the first one with you that it kind of spoke to me. And this is all done, you know, this piece looks embossed, but it's not. This is printed on your paper. And this piece right here, I'll make sure I'm getting it going in the right direction. I have a card base, and this is pecan pie, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4.25. And this is going to be a landscape card. So this piece right here is all these measurements are going to be, Jennifer doesn't have them yet because I kind of threw this. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I'm a perfectionist or not, but I have this thing about order, that I have a hard time when things are not in order. So some people say I have a type A personality, but they say type B people are more creative. So I don't know. Maybe I'd like to think that I'm a little bit of both. But anyway, this is 3 by 4, and this is 2 by 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these two pieces of paper to mat on our card. Something like this. And I've got a piece of crumb cake that I cut. I really need to do another piece and make it longer. But we're going to put that down and make this look like it's angled, if you will. I think something like that. And I'm going to cut off that little corner right there. But let's go ahead and get the other pieces glued down first, because I think once we get those glued down, we can better tell where we need to be. I want to make this one, I want to make sure that I'm coming over enough to the center where I have a little bit larger area to the side. See what I mean? The margin here and here's a little bit bigger. I'm going to bring that one over just a little bit further. I'm going to use a pencil just to give myself a little bit of a guideline right there. And the same thing here. And I'm going to hold that piece, and I'm going to give myself a guideline. I can always go back and erase that pencil mark if it shows, but that will help give me a little bit of a space there. So I know, and this piece is pretty too. That was on that first card I showed y'all. This one, I used the back of that paper. Oh, I'm trying to show it to you like I showed it to you a while ago, and it's not working. But I love this card. I haven't put anything on the inside. We're going to be giving away a lot of cards today, because if I make this one and the other one that I got all the pieces cut out for, and the two that I already have made, that's going to be 4 giveaways. So that's always fun. And next week, no, next week is the 30th. The following week we'll have a prize drawing that will be more than just my cards. It'll actually be a real prize. And I will give away a Stampin' Up item. So be sure to join me. That's always the first Friday of the month on my live that I make sure I give away something nice that's Stampin' Up that I think you'll be able to enjoy. So I don't know, if you live on the East Coast, you are like me, you're probably sick and tired of all of this rain. But we can't complain about the weather, because I always say God knows what we need. Maybe a drought's coming that we don't know about, and this water will help sustain us through it. So I always say, you know, go with the flow. God knows what we need better than we do. So there, we're going to put this piece down, and see how I got it. You can see my pencil mark on that, because I cut this piece longer and then I marked it so that I would know exactly where to cut it to give me that angle that I needed. So I'm going to put this down right about here. And if you see what I'm doing, I'm bringing that over as far over to that side as I can, so that it gives us that real angled look. And really, we don't really have angles. We just got a piece of paper that we're slanting across those, but it gives a wonderful look of an angled card. So I think that is just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. Something like that. And remember, we're coming over as far over as we can lift that up just a little bit and then stick that down. And that gives a beautiful backdrop. So we're going to do some stamping now. Let me grab a piece of, oh, and I thought I had everything out that I needed. Okay, Miss Bella, you gotta move, honey. Y'all know I have to move Bella out of my way before I can do anything because she is always under my feet. Okay, I'm gonna use this piece. I was playing with this piece the other day. You know the new tool that comes with the new tools for the take your pick tool, and this one right here really has sparked my interest, and I was playing with it to figure out how I can incorporate that in a card making. This is so cute. I know you can do the tear-offs like that where you can tear, but look how neat that cuts that. I love it. So many different ways I think we could use that tool, and I love the fact we have a craft knife and this little needle point thing. This could work great with your Cricut even for weeding. That would be a great tool to use for that. But I'm glad that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with new tools to use with our Take Your Pick tool, because I love my Take Your Pick. And I think any of you that has one can concur with me on that it is a great it's a great tool to have in your arsenal of tools. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to stamp this down right here because I'm going to die cut this. And I'm using Early Espresso because I want this to be a dark piece. And there is our base. I'm going to close this one up because I want to use some pecan pie. So I got some, and the pecan pie is the same color of our background right there. And I can see my pencil mark right there, so let's just get that out of there. I don't see it over on this side. I must have covered it with the paper, but I did see it peeking out right there, so I had to get rid of that. Now our pecan pie, I want to stamp this piece right here. That is such a pretty, it's almost like a little wheat type look of a piece. I don't know. It's pretty, whatever it is. I'm not real into what all the different greeneries and shrubs and things like that, but I like this because I think it's pretty. So we're going to stamp that down. I'm doing my best not to rock my stamps, especially with the cling stamps, because you know sometimes you get ink pooling around the edges of the rubber. See right there? See how that ink pulled right there? Now, had I rocked that stamp sideways, I would have gotten that shadow around my image. So if you're using the cling stamps, some people call them red rubber stamps. Stampin' Up! Now calls them cling stamp. I mean, cling stamps. And then the other stamps, the ones you can see through, are photopolymer. And Stampin' Up! Uses both of those particular stamps. And they are, I love the image that you get off of the cling stamp, but I love the fact that you can see through your photopolymer. I got the thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it too while we're stamping, and I'm gonna stamp this right about here at the bottom, just like that. Get that up there so y'all can see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to bring up my die cut machine, and we're going to do a little bit of die cutting, and I'm just going to bring up the big boy because I should be able to put this all down in one shot and cut everything out at one time. And this is a big one to put up underneath the camera, but you know, we can make it work. And I love this stamp machine, this cut and die machines, emboss and die machine. So I got my #1 plate, I have my die cut adapter plate, and I have my old scratched up cut plate. So always dedicate one plate to your cut plate and one for your cover plate. So I'm going to lay this down, and let's grab our dies, whatever I did with them. I'm going to get these stamp blocks over here out of the way so I don't get ink on something until I get where I can cut them or clean them. And y'all know me, I'll clean those stamps just the minute I can. I'm going to use I'm going to use this little one right here to cut this pot out. And I want y'all to know something that's really different that Stampin' Up! Did with this set. It doesn't cut around the outside of it, it cuts on the inside, which can be good and bad. If you want the full pot, you might want to go around it with your scissors and fussy cut it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it, you know, being... I like it because I don't have to worry about getting it just perfect. So I think that's wonderful. I'm going to tape that down because, you know, when I put that cover plate over it, it's going to move. So I'm just going to tape it down. I'm still waiting for Stampin' Up! To come up with a magnetic platform that will work. And I think the reason they haven't, I think the design that works the best is Sizzix. And I think that Sizzix may have a copyright on theirs. And I know with all the problems that Stampin' Up! Went through with the Stamparatus, they do not want to go through that again with a copyright. And I so get it. So they're trying to come up with something that they can that will work really well for us, and they won't get slammed with a copyright. So hopefully they will soon. All right, I'm not going to cut the thank you out right now. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my big scissors and I'm just going to cut around this and leave that over here because I got something different in mind for it. Now I'm going to lay those up there and I don't have to worry about them moving because they're taped down. Put my top plate over and we're just going to crank this through our die cut machine. And I tell you what, die cutting has changed paper crafting like crazy because it's so nice to have a machine and dies that you can roll through. And I know some of you, that was probably before my paper crafting days, but I've heard some people talk about how they used to have to fussy cut everything with a pair of scissors. Oh, some people love to fussy cut. It's not my thing. Now see, I got off a little bit on that one. Do I want to stamp it and do it over? Or do I want to fussy cut it? Kind of defeats my purpose. I'm going to restamp that because I don't like the fact that that didn't. See what I mean about this one? How you've got the ink showing around it. Normally you don't have that, but it gives you a really nice clean look on your piece, and I do like that. All right, I don't mind restamping this because I've got another idea that I want to work with, and I think we can just do it right here. So I'm going to cut my thank you off. And then I'm going to get that stamp again. And my pecan pie. I got so much stuff piled up here on my desk, y'all. Y'all just would not believe it. And we're going to ink this again. Can I get it on this piece? Let's try it this direction. I think I might be able to get it. Oh yeah. There we go. So just like that. And see, I got a little shadowing there, but that's okay. The die will get rid of that for us, so I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm going to be much more cautious of lining this up this time. So let me take my tape off, and I'm going to slide that down and put that right like that. That looks really good. So let's hope that's going to do the trick. Now I need a piece of the pecan pie, and I just need a scrap. So I'm looking in my scrap bin, and there we go. We got a scrap. This is the little top that goes on the pot, like this. So I'm going to cut that out of pecan pie. And I am going to tape it. It doesn't matter because I'm not die cutting that around something, but still don't want it to move. As a matter of fact, let's see, I'm going to leave my inks right there. Let me turn it, see if it'll go this way. I don't think so. Alright, we'll keep it like this. I don't want to cut off any of it. So let's grab our big boy out again. And let's do this one more time. Pop this in and crank it through. This machine cuts so easy and does such a fantastic job. First cut every time. I could not be more thrilled with the die cut machine. Now I did invest in a electronic die cut machine, because when I'm creating and I'm, you know, really working on the fly, I like to be able to pile a whole bunch of stuff in at one time and cut it all out at once. Oh, that's much better. I'm going to show y'all the difference. This is getting it lined up the way it's supposed to be. That's lining it up off. You see the difference? Look at all of the crumb cake color right there versus on that side. So that one's no good. This one is. So we'll lay my dies back over here, and let's take the top of this, lay it there. I'm going to throw those scraps over there because I might be able to use those for something else. You never know when you got some little piece that you need to cut that a stamp like that will come in. If you notice, I rotate this plate every time I use it. I make sure I turn it back over in the opposite direction. That keeps your plates from warping. Y'all have heard me say that so many times. There's nothing any worse than having warped plates. So let's bring this back over and this, and I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm actually going to use the big ones. If you've got small ones, by all means you can use those as well. I've got my little snips right there, my paper snips, but anytime I'm trying to cut a long straight line, I can do much better if I've got a pair of long scissors. And Stampin' Up! Doesn't have any long scissors right now. I wish they did. Maybe they'll come out with some. I think at one point they did, but that was before my days with Stampin' Up! Alright, so now I want to grab I don't want that one. Actually, I've got one that I've already put together, and this is it right here. And you can see it's the same pot, and I've got the greenery. I didn't want to bring the die cut machine back up to cut that little piece, but that little piece is what I want to go on this. So I'm going to lay this vase over here, because you know we can use that again. I'm going to turn that over because I've already got dimensionals on it. And what I did is I adjusted my pieces where I wanted them, and then I took the little lines off of the Stampin' Dimensionals. You know, when you get a sheet of them like this, you always have this little leftover piece. So the little ones like that, I've used that to kind of anchor this down so they wouldn't move. I wanted this little spriggy piece, and this is one of the dies, and it's a standalone die. When I say standalone, let me explain what that means. There's not a stamp that coordinates with it, so therefore it's a standalone die. And we're going to use some of that trim on this, because I want to cut a little piece of this trim, and I'm going to cut it right about there. And I think we need about 3 pieces to go across this. That looks about right. It did fray just a tiny bit, but I'm going to use some glue. So let me get my silicone craft sheet out here. And it's all nasty. You can see glue all over it. I need to take it to the sink and give it a good wash. There's all this glue. See that glue, how it just peels up? I just popped it over under my computer. But you can literally peel that up with your fingernails and just throw it away. That's the good thing about the silicone craft sheet. It does not stick. Like this, I could lay this piece down on here and not worry about it sticking. So I'm going to take some glue and run it right across my ribbon. And then I'm going to pick that up and lay it right across the top of that. I'm going to let that sit there just for a minute to dry. Now I need to decide where I want this to live, and I'm thinking I want it to be maybe about like this. Yeah, that's pretty. That gives a backdrop. That little angle piece gives a backdrop for that piece. I like it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off the rest of the dimensional backings. I got glue on my finger, so did y'all see those stick to my finger? Oh, okay, let's make sure I got them all off. Yep, they're all good and sticky. So now I can put this right about here and adhere it down. And now we can take this piece and put a little glue on the back of it. And we can bring this down and put it right there. Look how much what it does just by putting some trim on something and using a little extra piece of cardstock with that die cut. That is so pretty. I love these. Like I said, these earth tones really spoke to me, even though they're not in my repertoire of colors. They definitely spoke to me. So we're going to put thank you right about here. And this is a quick and easy card. This is one you can put together in no time flat. Now I know I need a dimensional on this side because I want this to sit up even with that, and we can put glue on that side. So that's going to hit right about there. So I know from here over I need some liquid glue. And then we're going to sit and take the backer off. And we're just going to sit this down right about here. And make sure it's nice and straight. I hate to get a sentiment on crooked. That is so aggravating. Alright, this is a simple, easy to do card, but I think it has a lot of elements on it that makes it look very pretty. And I think it's a nice backdrop using those two designer series papers. So let's go ahead and pull out our next card. So that's one. So far we have 3 cards to give away. Here's our 3 cards. And I have not put anything on the inside of these. No, nothing on the inside. So what I'll do is I'll put a piece of cardstock inside of these, and I will have those, when whoever wins them will have the inside empty where they can use it for whatever they want to, write a sentiment or whatever. Now this one I pretty much laid out, and this is the boho blue, and I want to show you, do you see the texture on that pot? I cut that and then I went back with this die. This particular die does not cut, it just embosses. And so I just laid it on the piece of cardstock after I cut it, after I die cut it. I laid this on top of it and ran it back through the emboss and cut and emboss machine and embossed it. And then I used this little ditty, and I used crumb cake, and again it was a scrap. I cut that out and I wrapped the pot with that, and I thought that gave a really cute effect on that one. And then look at these other pieces we've got here. So let's go ahead and start putting it together, and then we'll decide what's going to go in which pot, which I think I already know. Alright, this was a piece of the designer series paper, and this piece is cut 3 3/4 by 5, and this is a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to do a landscape card on this one. So I'm going to put some, hey Kathy, welcome in. And Carmina, hey, how are you? I'm looking back. I want to see if I missed anybody when they came in. Connie, welcome in. So glad you're here. And Phyllis, I think I'd already mentioned Phyllis. If I didn't, hey Phyllis. And of course Margie and Marlene, I'd already caught y'all I think earlier. I don't know if I did Margie, but hey Margie. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some glue across this. Run it down the sides and across the bottom. And y'all know I like a little extra in the middle. I guess because I got a little extra in the middle. Don't we all? When we reach my age, we all got a little extra in the middle. Alright, here we go. Let's put this on about like this. Give it a good press. And then I got a piece of boho blue because I just wanted to matte this. I love a matted card, and I wanted this to have a little bit of extra. That's not boho blue. That's boho blue. What color is this? Is it Misty Moonlight? I looked at it and I knew this was boho blue. This is Misty Moonlight, and I love the Misty Moonlight, the boho blue with the mauves. I think it's just gorgeous. So, and like I said, this piece is 3 by 4. I love my 3 by 4 pieces. I think they add so much to our cards, and just gives that little extra something. Oh, Marlene, I want to commend you on those cards that you posted on the Facebook group. Oh my word, they're gorgeous, and the little birdhouse. Ah, I need to learn how to make that birdhouse. It's so cute. I loved it. All right, so this one I think I'm going to put in here. I love the way that looks together. Do y'all agree? Is that not beautiful? I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to run right up the middle like that. And then I'm going to put the blue one down first. The Stampin' Seal is great because it will catch into that, and then you've got a beautiful backdrop for this piece. And for this one, I want it to be sticking up a little bit, maybe about like that. And that's stuck down right there like that. So that is so pretty. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals as well. I might have to grab another pack of dimensionals before this video is done. I'll put one there and one there. When I wrapped that piece around this, all I did was wrapped it, and I took some regular old Scotch tape and put on the back of it to hold that in place. In case y'all were wondering, anytime I do something ahead of time like that, I like to let y'all know exactly what I did, so that if you try to recreate it, you won't be guessing, well, how did she do that? You'll always know. I'm not going to put any more dimensions around this because I want it to have a little bit of the movement. So I'm going to take these off. You know, I should have waited. I shouldn't have took those off yet, because I want to figure out, let's set this one on. I want this one sitting up a little bit, and this is going to go in here. The one thing you want to make sure of when you're doing these cards is that you're not going up too high off of your card, or it won't fit in the envelope. So keep that in mind. And again, I apologize for my scratchy throat, because it is sounding really scratchy today for some reason. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there, and then I'm going to sit this in it. Something like that. And I think this one I'm going to put directly down. I think it looks good when you've got one piece popped up and another piece completely down flat. I think it gives some little lift to your card. So this one I'm going to do up here like that. And then this one, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I think I'm going to bring it over closer to that one. I want it to cover up the... See, I shouldn't have took those off. Maybe I want that to be behind there. Yeah, that's what I want. And then very gently I'm going to push those down so they adhere. And see how you've got that little bit of lift on the card? I think that looks so cute. So now for the sentiment for this one, how about the one that says, you always know just what to say and do? We could do that, or yeah, I gotta have something small because it's gonna run across the bottom of these pots. So I think I'm gonna do, yeah, this one right here won't cover up a whole lot, and I think it'd be really pretty. And I'm gonna go back and grab some crumb cake for that. And again, I thought I had extra crumb cake out here, but of course I don't. That's okay, I have a scrap bin, and I know how to use it. And I've got lots and lots of little scraps in here that we can definitely get a sentiment on. There's one and there's one. So I think I'll use this one since it's shorter. Save that one for another time. I am hitting something with my chair, and I don't know what. It's my flip-flops. You know, if I kept my feet in my shoes when I'm sitting here, do y'all do that? Do you kick your shoes off when you're sitting down? I do. As I've gotten older, I used to love to go barefooted, but as I've gotten older, my feet are a little more tender, and I've had heel surgery 3 times, twice on my right foot and once on my left. So I am a little leery of going barefooted anymore. Now, what color ink do I want to use? I think I'm going to go with the Pecan Pie or the Early Espresso. The Early Espresso I think would be pretty because it'd be dark. It looks almost black, but it's not. It's a real rich, dark brown. And let's see. I don't know if I want to use a label, so I'm going to stamp right in the middle. Just in case. Ah, not dark enough. That's why paper has 2 sides, right? I'm going to leave it down just a little bit longer. Yeah, a lot of people were having trouble with my email, with my stamp sale, and I don't know why. I know it was correct. A lot of people were typing it in themselves rather than copying and pasting it, and it was they were either putting an S on acts, and on my email it's a random act of stamping to match my blog. You know what I think I'm gonna do with this one? I think I'm gonna angle it. Let me get my long scissors again. I'm going to do a little angle cut on this just to be something different, like that, and like that. And then I think I'll cut it off on the bottom and the top. So you don't have to have dies to make a beautiful label. You can just use what you got. So for this one, I'm going to put a dimensional. I might have to get a mini one or cut one of these in half. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. No, I won't. I'll use one of these. See, these little pieces can come in so handy. Let's see how long we need it. Maybe about to there. And we put glue on the other side of it. So I'll put my dimensionals here. Like so. And then we just need a little bit of glue right here. And there's that one. And here. You have to give that liquid glue just a little bit of time to set up. And I don't think we need bling on these cards because they're so earthy. I just don't think we need anything else with them. That's probably why they put the ribbon with this suite rather than some gems or what have you, because my watch is telling me I need to get up and move again. So we've got our 4 cards made. Did I make all 4 of them? I think I did. Yep, we got 4 cards made, all using this beautiful bundle. And you can see you can do it bright and bold, or you can do it muted and more natural. But any way you cut it, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful set. And it's very versatile, and you don't have to use just the sentiments that's in the die, and I mean in the stamp set. And if you notice on this one, this piece right here came from the So Refreshing die set, and I think this was a sentiment out of it. And what I did is I just fussy cut around the sentiment and used it like that, and look like the flowers are sitting, and a little bouquet of flowers laying there, and your vase is sitting there on top. So anyway, there's our 4 cards for today. It's only 20 till. Oh my goodness. We are doing fantastic. But we're going to go ahead and do our drawing. Be sure to stay tuned tomorrow. I've got a really cute card. This is my photo type. It won't look like this, but this is a photo type of the card for tomorrow, and it's a floating panel on top of it. It pops up like that, and then when you open the card, I use this for my stopper, so it's almost like an easel card, and it will sit up like this on your desk. with this free-flowing panel. And then when you open it, you can put a thing here, a sentiment here. And if you wanted to, you could put some designer series paper on these two panels if you wanted to dress it up a little bit. But that's going to be the Mars video. And I think I'm going to be using a couple of different sets on that one and probably show you 2 different cards and styles made with it. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's go ahead. If Jennifer's ready, we're going to do our drawing. If you have not let her know whether you want to be in the drawing or not, please do so now. And what I'm going to do is the first person will get to choose which card they want, and we'll call it 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can choose whichever one you like. And then the second winner will get to pick from what's left over. Then the fourth winner will take whatever's left over. So be sure to let Jennifer know now if you want to be in the drawing. Tina, I think she just asked you if you want to be in the drawing. Okay, and Jennifer just told me she's still waiting to hear from you, Tina. So let Jennifer know if you want to be in the drawing. I think everybody... Oh, okay. Okay, Tina. You're more than welcome to be in the drawing. I know you might have been a little late coming in, but that's fine. Tina's usually always here. But anyway, go ahead, Jennifer, and give me the first winner is... Phyllis, Lala Craft. Which card do you want? 1, 2, 3, or 4? So we're going to wait for we're going to wait for Phyllis to let us know which one she wants. So, oh, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Yes, congratulations to Phyllis. Way to go. So let me know which card you want. I know, decisions, right, Phyllis? Yes, we's not a card. It's either 1, 2, 3, or 4. I can mess with Phyllis. I'm close enough to her I can mess with her. Pick your card, Phyllis. Sometimes I think doing the drawings takes longer than actually making the cards. It is very time consuming, and the fact that there is that delay. I have probably close to a 30 to 45 second delay in what I'm doing to when I see it on my tablet. All right, Phyllis, we're still waiting, honey. Come on, pick a card. Yes, I'm rushing you, Phyllis. I'm rushing you. Oh, and I want to thank everyone who has participated in my retired stamp sale. If you have not had an opportunity to see what I have left, go to my blog. I've been trying to keep it updated as much as I can. Nothing is in there over $25. In fact, most all of the dies and stamp sets that are bundled together are $20 for both stamp and die. You cannot buy that anywhere, and there's still some great sets left. So I'm trying to clear out my floor in my craft room, and I showed the girls this morning, we did our little devotion, that I still have bukus of stamps that are available for sale. Come on, Phyllis, we're waiting on you. Okay, we didn't freeze up or anything, did we? We're gonna go like this. Is Phyllis just having a hard time making up her mind? Everybody needs to just type Phyllis, Phyllis, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm just seeing my hands now go across, so that's probably almost a minute of a delay. That is crazy. I'm gonna use my phone one day and the stop clock on it and see exactly what the delay is in minutes, because that's funny. Well, I wonder where she got kicked off. I wonder. Oh, the at, yeah. Yeah, come on, fellas. I'm sending her a text message now, tell her we're waiting for her to pick a card. Ah, no, she didn't leave. Jennifer said she's still there. I just texted her and told her, Phyllis, we're waiting on you to pick a card. You were the first winner, Phyllis. Okay. I'm going to give her about another minute, and if she hasn't responded, then I'll just choose one for her, and then we'll go ahead and move on from there. All right. Oh, where did you go, Phyllis? Pick a card, pick a card. She just said she's sorry. Okay, you got to pick a card. Number 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's okay, Phyllis. Just go ahead and pick which one you want. Either this blue one, the one we made today, this one, or the second one we made today. So just 1, 2, 3, or 4. I will take card. Oh, any card. Okay. Well, no, you won. You got to pick one. Just pick one and hurry up. You got to pick a card. Pick your favorite. 4. Okay. This one's Phyllis. All right. The next winner is Marlene. Congratulations, Marlene. Jennifer, if you'll type. Huh? Okay. Jennifer predicted which one Marlene's going to take. Oh, you're welcome, Phyllis. I'm glad. I'm so glad that you got back. Maybe you had a phone call or something that pulled you away. We never know what's going on in the background. So there you go. All right, Marlene, you are the next winner. So you've got your choice of these 3 cards. Yay for Marlene. She'll take 2. Jennifer was right. She knew me. She knew which one you were going to take. All right, Jennifer, pick our next winner. Carmina. And Jennifer, if you type in congratulations to Carmina. And we'll need Carmina to pick one of the next 2. Marlene, I think Jennifer knows your taste. All right, Carmina. So I'm waiting for Carmina to pick number 1, the blue one, right? Congratulations. And our last winner has to get what's left over, and it's this one. So the April. Is April still here? And I have everybody's address, so I don't have to say anybody. Nobody has to send me an email with their mailing address. I have everyone's mailing address. So I will get these out and in the mail either probably today, because I've got a whole load of packages I got to take to the post office. So these will go out today. Hopefully you will get them probably by the middle of next week. And remember, if you're interested in any of the designer series paper, it is still on sale. So congratulations to Phyllis, Carmina, Marlene, and April. Congratulations. I am so thrilled to send these cards out to each one of y'all. So, and I want to thank you. Let me flip back over to my, I have to bring my mouse down here. My mouse is really persnickety. It doesn't like anywhere but the mouse pad. And when I bring up the, when I put my tablet over here, I don't have room for my mouse pad, so I have to find somewhere else to play with my mouse at. So anyway, there we go. I'm back. Congratulations to all of my winners. I am so glad that y'all came and spent a little bit of time with me today. And if you notice my shirt, I didn't even notice it until I got back in here. I have earth tones in my shirt. I've got browns and tans and blacks and grays, so kind of earthy toned shirt today. And I wasn't even thinking about that when I pulled it off of the rack. But anyway, I'm not going to keep everybody any longer. I've got a full day ahead of me left. I've still got some packages to put together. And if you know anyone that would be interested in purchasing some of my retired stamps for a wonderful, wonderful price, please share my information with them. Tell them to get in touch with me. I showed several of the stamp sets on my YouTube videos. I did 3 different videos, 2 lives and 1 recorded. Of course, I have sold quite a few of those since then, but if they see something they like, they email me and I'll be glad to let them know if it's still available. If you send them to my blog, that is up to date. So everything on there is still available that you see. So anyway, listen at April. She's always complimenting me. She makes me blush. But anyway, I love my sweet girl. And give Jennifer some appreciation for being such a wonderful moderator yet again. What would I do without her? I was flying blind last week when I went live without her. And I was like, oh, I need Jennifer to type in my email address. So anyway, she didn't even know I was going to do it. But God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything, that means every word that you utter and everything you do, all of your actions, bring glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. I love you. Mwah. Bye-bye. Now if I can find my mouse. Here we go.